talk to me now about It's Story Time with Wil Wheaton.
Okay.
How did you come up with this?
A couple of years ago now, it was a long time ago, one of my oldest friends, who I've known since I was a freshman in high school, texted me that a story he had written had been bought by a magazine. He's been writing since we were kids, and it's not his primary profession, but it is his passion. And he's a great storyteller and a talented writer, and just never really found the place that would say yes. And this place said yes. And I was so excited for him. I grabbed the story immediately. I read it, and it's a great story. And I loved it. And I loved the way he wrote it. And I loved how it was told. And this is weird. This is weird for me. I know it is a thing. I have friends, good friends that I love that just see me as a person. I'm not like, I'm sure you've experienced this. There are people who treat you like you, and then there are people who treat you like the thing they see on TV. Right. And it's very, very, very different. And he's one of my friends who has never treated me like that thing from TV. He really likes it when I narrate audiobooks.
Oh, well, obviously many people do. You've only done hundreds.
Has told me how much he liked it. And I just thought, I'm just going to, quick and dirty, I'm just going to record this and send it to him just as a, like, here you go. This is just for you, buddy. Just because you're my friend and I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. I started to do that. And then just this voice kind of like leapt, like a little shadow version of me jumped out and went, dude, check this out. You are the narrator of the best-selling audiobook of all time. You're a New York Times best-selling audiobook narrator. People tell you that they buy audiobooks because you narrate them. What if you used all of that privilege to elevate the voices of writers that haven't yet found their way into the mainstream? What if I used that skill that I have, that I've worked really hard to develop, to do really great work, but the original material that forms the basis of that work is coming from people who may be waiting for their break. Everybody needs a break. Everybody just needs that moment to get in, right? So just like when Felicia and I did Tabletop, the idea for Tabletop sprung out of me fully formed in like 4 sentences. And I was, by the time I was done saying what it was going to be, I realized that I just designed the entire show in my head in just a matter of seconds, because everything felt right. I kind of intrinsically knew this is the way to do this. And I had a similar feeling about this when it was getting going. So I didn't record the thing. I wrote up an email to my team and I said, this is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? And like and usually it's a while before I hear back from people because they're busy and I'm not their only client.
Right.
I mean, it was like, I felt like I had not even hit send when the responses started coming in. We're doing this. Let's get going. Let's set up a meeting. This is amazing. I want you to talk to. And it all just came together right away. So I thought, all right, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go find some writers. And I spent like 9 months just going through every like kind of emerging writer market and every indie publication I could find. And the stuff that was great had already been published and it was like already out there. And I realized I'm not good at this. I need an editor. I need somebody to do this. And a good friend of mine introduced me to Lynn and Michael Thomas, who are the editors of a great speculative fiction magazine called Uncanny. And I had a meeting with them and I pitched them the show and they were really excited. And I said, okay, so to start, I need to show the audience and I need to show the people I'm hoping are going to come pitch me that this is real. So please find me great speculative fiction. I don't care who did it. I don't care how popular it is. Just help me find really great stuff. I would prefer if it hadn't really landed in the mainstream yet.
Right.
Just because I kind of want to put it there. Right? Yeah. And they were like, great, got it. And they came back with stuff and like every piece was amazing and everything was wonderful. And all but 2 authors said, yeah, we'd love for you to do this for us. And the authors were excited and supportive. It was important to me to pay them for their work. It was important to me to pay a little bit higher than what the SIFWA per word rate is for things like this. I didn't want any rights. I didn't want anything at all like that. I just wanted permission to narrate their stories. And as I started doing that and going through that process, I had been listening to LeVar's podcast, and I love LeVar's podcast. And I say in the introduction to the first episode, like before we were family on the Enterprise together, I was a Reading Rainbow kid. I was a huge Reading Rainbow fan. When Reading Rainbow came to our set, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I just thought, gosh, LeVar's podcast is finished and there's space. And I think I'm going to try to step into that space if he says it's okay. We had that conversation and all those things lined up, went in and recorded everything.
How much?
Recorded 10 stories.
How long did it take you?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, 10 stories.
And went to edit it. All the audio was bad.
You had to do it again?
I had to do it all over.
Were you upset?
No, I was thrilled. It's like I got a dress rehearsal. I was disappointed, right? I was like, bro, you had one job. That was a bummer. But it was, it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
Just did it again. And it was like I'd had a dress rehearsal that I didn't know I needed.
So much better.
So much better. I asked a woman, her name is Gabrielle Decure, and she's one of the founders of a company called Skyboat that has done virtually every book that I've done, all the books I do for Scalzi, and a lot of the things that I've done, all the books I've done for Bill Gates, she directs. And we worked together for almost 20 years, and we have a great rapport and a great creative relationship. And I asked her if she would direct me on these because she helps me elevate my performances. She catches things that I miss. I catch things.
That's good that you have that.
And it's a really good creative partnership. It's
so she reads it first and gets like the idea and the direction, so she knows. Okay, right now you should have a little more energy because this is what's happening.
Yeah, and we talk about it ahead of time. What are the motivations and who is this person and who are you talking to and things like that. Anyway, I brought her in, and we worked. We did really good work together, and she knows me, and she knows my voice, and she knows she's been there literally in the front row for all of the work that I've done. And we were getting ready to finish episode 1 of the podcast and master it and put it up for to be uploaded next week.
And how long is it?
It's about 46 minutes, I think. So I wanted it to be less than an hour. I wanted to give people,
I love that.
I wanted it to be something that you can listen to on your lunch break. You can listen to it on your commute. You can listen to it on your morning or evening walk.
That's why I do
just
hour
a short
episodes.
Thing. Yeah.
Because I like, that's what I like.
There's podcasts that I love. I'm a huge fan of Behind the Bastards, but it's difficult to set aside 90 minutes for something.
Yeah, or 3 hours, some of these things.
Oh, man, you're talking to someone who is an old school Dan Carlin's hardcore history fan, and I'd be like, 7 hours? What are you doing?
God.
This isn't a podcast. This is a university course.
Yeah.